Hello and welcome back, or welcome. I am Book Lover Lorna, and today we have free hugs, because that's what Winnie the Pooh says, free hugs. Now today what we're actually doing, instead of giving out free hugs, because that's not corona friendly, is it? No, probably shouldn't wear this t-shirt in public at the moment, you know, because there's ye olde pandemic still going on. But anyway, today we're going to go through all of the books that I have given 5 stars to so far this year, which is kind of exciting to see what I've been loving so far this year. So these aren't necessarily books that have come out this year, although a few of them have, to be fair, but it'll be ones that I have read and really enjoyed and given my 5-star stamp to on Goodreads. Now, first of all, I'm going to go through all the ones that I've read in ebook form and don't have the physical copies to. We'll get those ones all out of the way first, and then we'll go through the ones that I've actually got a physical copy for. I do read quite a lot of review copies, so that is why I don't have the actual book for some of the ones that I've given 5 stars to. Now, first one I'm going to talk about, which I'm actually quite happy that we're starting on this, is The Long Afternoon by Inga Vesper. I absolutely loved this book. I actually got it through NetGalley because they sent an email and it was like, first 50 readers or something like that, I think, could have it. I think it was one of those. And I am so glad. It was like a suburban murder mystery type book, and it was so interesting. I actually want to buy the physical book. I haven't yet. I want to get it in paperback, but it was so enjoyable. So I gave that one 5 stars. Another 5-star NetGalley read was Love Spells and Other Disasters by Angie Barrett. This was kind of a school romance blended with a little bit of magic, and it was just really heartwarming. Very light-hearted read, I think. It, you know, it had a few laughs in it and all that jazz. It made you kind of chuckle here and there. Next 5-star read was actually one that was sent to me by Holly Martin to review her new book, which was Ice Creams at Emerald Cove, which is 3rd in the Jewel Island series. I mean, every Holly Martin book I give 4 or 5 stars to. 9 times out of 10 it's 5 stars. I can't really talk about it because I just absolutely love it. I have got a review video on it if you're interested. I just absolutely adore her books, and this one was no exception. Now, I also read from NetGalley The Whole Truth, which is number 5 in the Adam Fawley series by Cara Hunter. Now, I read that one because everyone was like, oh, I can't wait for Cara's next book. The Whole Truth is going to be amazing. So I requested it, got it, read it, and was like, wow, I absolutely love this. Not realising at the time that it was number 5 in a series. So I now need to read the other ones. I've bought 2 of them since then, Close to Home, and then there's another one which I'm missing, and then I've got All the Rage, and then there's another one, and then it'll be The Whole Truth, which, so obviously at some point I'll need to buy this one. But I absolutely loved it. It was such a good kind of, again, kind of like a mystery, investigation-y, if that's a word, kind of book, which, I mean, from saying this, it would seem that that's the kind of thing that I enjoy. So maybe I need to find more kind of murder mystery investigation style books. Quite enjoying those. I also read The Truth and Other Hidden Things by Lee Geller. Again, one that was sent to me from NetGalley to review. It was kind of, that was very much a suburban drama, no mystery in it. It was a little bit tongue-in-cheek. I think the author did a really good job of portraying the main character in a way that didn't make her dislikable, didn't make me dislike her, but still kind of put across the way that she was like a bit of an idiot, really. But yeah, I quite liked that one. It was very unique compared to other things that I've read. Do we have any other 5-star Kindle reads? Court of the Grandchildren it's actually by 2 authors, does it say on it? Michael Muntisov and Greg Finlayson. I hope I've said that right. Michael Muntisov and Greg Finlayson. Now, this one was sent to me by the publishers Odyssey Books in exchange for a review on Amazon and Goodreads. So I've done just that, and I tell you what, when they said to me, would you like to read this? I had a little look at the synopsis. I'm like, oh, it looks kind of interesting. My goodness, it was so good. Like, I actually got blown away by it. So essentially, it's set in the future. It's set in the future. I'm just trying to get my thoughts about it. It's set in the future. It's set in like the 2050s. And it's about how climate change has changed our world and also how technology has changed. And it is just so, so, so interesting. I would love to see more about the story and, you know, what else is kind of going on in their lives, as well as kind of the focus of this book, which I don't want to tell you too much because I want you to just read it. I gave that 5 stars, and actually the average rating is 4.47 stars on Goodreads. It doesn't have that many reviews, but it should. Please go and read it, because if you have like a small interest in climate change and you like reading, it's very, very interesting. It's kind of, even though it is our future, it's kind of dystopian-y vibes. And it's, wow, blows your mind. Okay, now in no particular order, I'll take you through the physical books. So the books that I read in a physical form, which I gave 5 stars to this year. First of all, The Queen's Gambit, one of my favourite books so far this year. I would probably say The Court of the Grandchildren would be in my top 5 for this year. So would this one. And then I'll tell you which others in a minute. Now, The Queen's Gambit, if you've seen it on Netflix, you know what it's all about. It's about this girl called Beth. She is taken to an orphanage because she becomes an orphan, and it's about her life and how she becomes a renowned chess player. And I read this before I watched the series. I'm not even sure if I finished the series or if I've got 1 episode left, but it's just a whole different ballpark. If you haven't watched the series, I would recommend reading this first. I don't know what it would be like to watch the series and then read it afterwards. I'm not too sure, but that's definitely in my top 5 for this year so far. The Hit List by Holly Seddon. This one was sent to me in exchange for a review, and I was like, well, it'll be kind of good. It was so good. So you live an ordinary life. Why does someone want you dead? Essentially, this woman, her husband has died a year before, I think it is. She goes on his computer every so often just to feel connected to him, and she finds the dark web on his laptop. And on that dark web, there is a web page open which has her name on it, and it is a hit list. So it is all about that, and I really, really loved it. I thought it was such a good book, and I definitely want to read more Holly Seddon books now. Next is a book that I actually did a review on, a review video, The Gilded Ones by Namina Fauna. This is just so impressive. I can't wait for more of her books to come out in this trilogy. I think it's going to be a trilogy. The Deathless series it's going to be called. This is book 1. Hopefully maybe the next book will be like next year. Fingers crossed. I really hope so. I'm so excited. Essentially, it's this community by where you have a blood ceremony when you come of age. I can't remember if it was 16 or 18. But there's this girl, Decca. She has her blood ceremony, and her blood runs gold, which means that you are immortal and you are a demon. You only want blood that runs like blood colour, essentially. And it's about what happens, and she becomes part of the Emperor's army, and it's just so, so well written. And it is actually going to be made into, I think, a movie or a TV series. I'm not sure which one, but I cannot wait, because this on a screen will be amazing. Next, we have Such a Fun Age by Kylie Reid. This one is a pretty cover. Well, actually, I didn't show you. This is my my Gilded Ones. I just forgot what I was saying then. My Gilded Ones edition, which is just beautiful. But I have a special edition of Such a Fun Age as well. I just thought that this was written so incredibly well. I kind of just flew through it, and I can see longlisted for the 2020 Booker Prize. I can see why. This is about race. It's also got a few laughs in it. It's kind of got a serious tone, but also at the same time, just kind of an intriguing tone to it. You're like, okay, okay then. You know, it's just so interesting. So I really enjoyed that one, and I just thought the writing quality itself meant that it should be 5 stars. The next book I gave 5 stars to was The Concrete Rose by Angie Thomas. This was just so good. It's the prequel to The Hate You Give, and it is Maverick's story, who is Star's dad, if you've read The Hate You Give or seen the film. Again, this one's a special edition. I'm a sucker for it, honestly. This was just so good, and I would love to read this again and then follow it with The Hate You Give. It hit all the right spots, honestly. Next, we have The House in the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. Now, I only read this one very recently. I absolutely loved it. I just thought it was such a powerful and also heartwarming book. It tugged on your heartstrings a little bit, made you kind of, even though it's not real life and it's not, the characters in this book are not the kind of characters, the kind of people that, you know, as far as we're aware, we have in our life. It is a made-up story, made-up people, made-up characters, but it just kind of makes you think about things in a different way, in kind of a parallel universe. It's very interesting. It's written so very well. There's a lot of aspects to this book. It is very complex, and I'm looking forward to reading more of his books. The first book that I read in 2021 is also one that I gave 5 stars to, This Time Next Year by Sophie Cousins. Essentially, it's about these two people who are born a minute apart at the same hospital, and it's about them meeting again years and years down the line, and how, you know, their paths have kind of gone alongside each other, but now we're only meeting together. It jumps back and forward in time, which I really like. I love that in a story. We're going back from like New Year's Eve to now, and back to other times to now, and I just really loved it. It was a romance story. I thought it was really nice. Probably best read around New Year's time, but that's not necessarily when you have to read it. I just really enjoyed reading it then. My last 5-star reads, I'm going to show you all together because they deserve to be shown as a collection. I absolutely love them. I'm obsessed with them. It is the Heartstopper series. I just almost dropped one. What? The Heartstopper series by Alice Oseman. This was my first little exploration into graphic novels, and I'm so glad that I went into them. These are amazing. And some people have said to me like, oh, you know, I really want to read them, but they're quite expensive. They are quite expensive. I think they're like, it's 11 or 13 pounds a book or something like that. I did actually see someone the other day post a thing where you could get the first 3 for £19, which would make them a lot cheaper. £90 altogether, and then the last one for £6 or £9, something along those lines. And I do think they're really worth it. If you can get them in like a charity shop or something like that, would make them cheaper and more affordable. But I just knew that I wanted to splash out on these, and I'm so glad that I did, because they were absolutely amazing. I now really want to read graphic novels. I've said this in my other videos. I'm just all over the graphic novels now. But these were so good. Like, all 4 of them are 5 stars, and I wish I could just read about Nick and Charlie forever and ever and ever, and I just wouldn't get bored. I swear I wouldn't. Yes, so those are my 5-star reads so far in 2021. There's a fair amount. I read a lot of 4-star reads this year. My average rating on Goodreads is, so far, is 4.1 stars, I think. So I have been rating quite highly. I either rate really highly or I rate really low. So that's what's been happening. So, I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 11 physical books. And then what do we have? Maybe like 6 or 7 NetGalley books, something like that. So we say about 18 5-star reads so far this year, and I'm only on book 42 at the moment. So it's quite a high percentage of 5-star reads, which is very good. That means that I'm having a good reading year. Yay. So that makes me very happy. And I guess we'll see what the rest of the year has to bring, and hopefully many more 5-star reads to come. I can see all the books on my shelves that need to be read, and I'm just, maybe I should do a 5-star prediction video. Do we want that? Should we have a little video of predictions of ones that I think are going to be 5-star at some point? I think that'd be a good idea. We'll do that. Anyway, please don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. It would really mean a lot to me. Thank you very much for watching, and happy reading. Bye!